10 years, going to McDonald's is actually a really big deal.
So when I started reading Dr. Chaplin's book, I think I was expecting kind of a takedown of McDonald's, kind of like Fast Food Nation, just this knives out, talking about all the ways that fast food companies abuse workers, animals, and the planet. But this book is really complicated. It looks at the, quote, somewhat bizarre but incredibly powerful marriage between a fast food behemoth and the fight for civil rights.
I remember when I was on my book tour, I met a woman who said she remembers going to McDonald's for the first time and getting ice cream because she had grown up in the Jim Crow South, and they never went to an ice cream parlor because there was a colored only and whites only counter, and her grandmother wouldn't let her go. And so they would make ice cream at home, and she remembers going to get ice cream. And I think that for people who were so separated from those experiences and from the pleasure of going out and eating and enjoying themselves, having McDonald's as this accessible place and having advertisement that shows that you are welcome was a really, really big deal, and it still sticks with a lot of people of that generation.
My discussion with Marsha Chaplin starts in 1968 after the assassination of Dr. Luther King.
McDonald's joins the legions of businesses that are trying to find a way to capitalize on this urban crisis moment where there's destruction on the streets after Martin Luther King's assassination. Some white franchise owners who are doing business in predominantly black neighborhoods wanted out. They were concerned about future property damage, other uprisings, and so in vacating their stores, McDonald's filled those gaps with African American franchisees who were stepping into business for the first time. And most of us think about white flight in the context of housing and the loss of tax revenue for schools, but I think that we also have to think about economic white flight. What does it mean for white business owners to shutter their businesses, move to the suburbs, and to end their main street presence? And then there were these calls for using black economic power under the umbrella of black capitalism to rebuild and reimagine black communities.
Can you give me the grand unified theory of black capitalism? Like, what is it supposed to do? What is it supposed to accomplish?
So black capitalism is this idea.
In 600 meters, keep right at the fork.
In the absence of full political and social rights, that if African Americans develop a strong economic base and economic presence, that this can fill the gaps and
keep right at the fork.
Doesn't work ever. Hot take alert, folks. It does not work.